You join me today on the banks of Brasenose 2 on the Linear Fisheries Complex in Oxford. We've come up here today to test out the new Super Spod, which is the first rod in the dedicated spod and marker range from Daiwa. Everyone knows that spodding has become an integral part of carp fishing nowadays. It's not something you have to use every time, but it's something you've got to have with you because you just never know when you're going to need it, when those fish are going to have a real good muncher and you can have a big hit of fish. So I don't think I know anyone that goes fishing and doesn't have access to a spod rod. Today I've got with me the brand new Super Spod. In the range there's a 10, a 12 and a 13-foot version, all in a 5-pound test curve, because after lots of testing that is the optimum test curve that we feel works for this kind of rod. I've got with me today personally the 13-foot version, and this is purely down to what I like to do. I've got 13-foot rods here, so I like to try where I can to use the same length spod rod as I do my actual fishing rods. Just helps me keep consistent with the casting, with the baiting, and if I'm using this as well for markering up, when I'm casting it means everything's going to be that tiny bit more accurate. So I like just to try and, where I can, to keep all the rods the same length. So for me the 13-foot version was perfect. Also, coming up to linear, you know that there's going to be a chance you're going to have to fish a long way out. So again, for me, that means there's only one choice, and that's a 13-foot version. If you want a 12-foot version and you're sort of more of an all-round fisherman, where you're not necessarily just fishing long range, you're going to be maybe doing a bit of shorter range stuff, then probably the 12-foot version is going to be better for you. And then similarly, if you use 10-foot rods a lot and you're on much smaller, more intimate venues, you know, there's a bit more tree cover and you've got to sort of poke around a bit more, 10-foot rod's going to be perfect for that. So basically in that range there'll be something to suit whatever kind of fishing you do. So now let's take a look at the Super Spod in a bit more detail, where I'll run you through some of the features. To start off with, they're all a high modulus carbon blank, and as you can see they've got abbreviated handles, which is nice and comfortable for casting, but also it's important that it wipes clean really easily at the end of the session, because as you know, spod rods can just get absolutely filthy. We've got a Sea Guide reel seat and Sea Guide TDG guides, which both keep the weight to a minimum but also allow for nice smooth casting. The other feature of these rods, which is really nice, is that they've got half 1 and 2 foot markers on them, because the aim of these rods is that they can be used to double up as a marker rod. So you don't need two separate ones now, this one will do both jobs. So as I said, it's got the nice markers there, so if you're pulling off the marker to find the depth out there, or you just need to, you know, increase the distance of your spod by a foot or bring it back a foot, you can just do that really easily by using the markers on the rod. So yeah, that completes the features of the rod. And if you want to find out more information about them, get down to your local Daiwa stockist and check out the Daiwa Carp website.